Hello, once again, welcome to Artculi Plus. I was going through the previous videos I had put up in Artculi Plus, and I was thinking what I should start on actually to go a little serious into pedagogy. So I had given you one example about regarding this theory in architecture that there is no need to take very exhaustive exams and make students study by heart everything when almost every theory is available on Google. So whenever before a meeting, an architect will always make a report, cross-checking with information on Google and library books and other information of data. So what is wrong if same is availed by student actually? So the theory subjects can be finished off by simple viva within the college, and only the focus should be on design and ideas actually. So the focus should be on hands-on exercises like assignments like architectural design, basic design, architectural graphics, and building construction and technology, and those kind of subjects actually. But then I forgot to mention in that you cannot do same thing for design. See, suppose you Google something on any regarding any idea or design in Google, you will get some results. But those results you cannot apply directly to the problem you have in your hand, because every problem you have in your hand has location context, has climate context, has availability of local material context, has cultural and historical, and sociological and political effect on the idea and design. So whatever actually you see, the end result, whatever is that building or whatever is the product, whatever you see, it will never fulfill the requirement of what you are trying to solve actually. And moreover, if you are going to get you just going to copy something directly from any of those things, then there is a charge of plagiarism. You see in AD and other things here, you have to be original designer. You cannot copy from anybody. There is a charge of plagiarism. You start in all AD from every year and also for basic design. But for basic design, it will not be so strictly followed, but at least for building the AD architecture design, it will be for a very strict case. So what I am saying that you cannot Google a design or cannot Google an idea. So please focus on this more during your 5 years of learning architecture in college actually. Try to work hard on design ideas and work so hard that you get hang of how to think of new ideas, how to make good designs actually. And of course there are so many ways of approaching the design, and somewhere in that design there is something called concept actually. So this concept part I'll make a separate video, because this is a little slightly different and tricky area actually. So today I will focus on design only. So first I will enumerate the things which I think are important as per me in design, and what are the normally mistakes students do when I'm interacting with them actually. So actually design involves or has idea actually. So sometimes design and idea I would say they're very closely linked, because if you think about design, it's a visual presentation, visual way of putting some things together which solves some problem, some well-defined problem. And this solving a problem will take all the things what I was talking about. To take the things take into consideration the site, location, context, to take into consideration the requirement of the client, to take into consideration the cost, the budget of the client, to take into consideration the cultural, historical, social, and political aspects of that location, and what the building has to, how strongly it has to relate to all these things. And it also take into account other things like nowadays the sustainable has become very important factor. So making it also sustainable actually. So these all factors they teach in their proportionate or rata contribution towards a good design actually. So design, when you say, is putting up all these things actually. So the idea will be there in every and any of this. So idea will be how climate will affect the building, how the culture will affect the building, how the cost budget will affect the building, how the using certain kind of materials and mix of certain materials and certain color combinations will affect the building. This all has some idea behind it. This idea and design are very closely linked actually, and actually good design should solve the problems of humanity in a major way actually. Suppose you talk about housing, and when you talk about housing, affordable housing, so the cost factor is very important contribution in that. So if you can reduce by some idea, some design, the cost of the construction and make it affordable, it solves the major chunk of housing problem for larger humanity actually. So that is, I have understood that there is an open problem available in Harvard University, dwelling unit for $1,000 actually. So there is $1,000. Everybody can take a challenge how to make a dwelling unit in $1,000. So $1,000 is equivalent to today's rate of in India 80,000 rupees actually. So how to make a house, the cost of construction within 80,000 rupees actually. So that is always open in Harvard actually. So idea designed to solve the problems of humanity, and if you take our talk of design actually, you should try to these are my observation, personal observation. Try to make them as simple as possible, and you see the complexity added to the project should come from the well-defined design brief. So sometimes I tell students that focus more on design brief, how the design brief is evolving. So you have to keep your eyes and ears open for anything which will add up to the design brief. So even that factor, whether the design process should be egalitarian or democratic process, I actually think that the client's input should be considered in a proper way. And if there is something which you think you will not address to those requirements from the client, whatever he is talking about, you should actually try to resolve them by discussion before you show them a single sketch actually. Those should be properly settled actually. That is why the person who interacts with the client should be very sensitive, should be very understanding, should be very empathic, and should actually interact. If he has certain biases to certain form and shape, and he wants the building to look like that, and it is your duty to explain that taking that approach may harm the end design, it may not be very good, and how other things can be good for him, which we will evolve and we will show it to him for his approval. And if he still thinks strongly that it should be a particular shape, a particular way, then we will look at that time about that. So we should at least explain to him to keep his mind open to design proposal. Some alternatives what the design office will offer to him. So this is the small brief I'm giving from my side actually. And then this concept part actually, you see, I told I talked separately, but I have to talk a little bit about concept actually. You see, this concept part actually, I'm telling you that many institutes and many teachers they talk about concept from very early actually, and they explain that the concept should be there behind every design, every idea, and all that. So there is a pressure on students to find concept and relate every design, everything, every idea to concept actually. Now to this I have some reservations actually, because I feel that if a student is learning actually, and when he is learning, and then he will be maturing to do things slowly. So whatever a student is exposed to till the time when he picks up pencil to design something, he will address everything from those knowledge base what he has. So let's talk about first year student. The first year student is just started, so nothing of all the other subjects is started actually. He doesn't know history of architecture, he doesn't know the other aspect also. Even graphics he started, he doesn't know about building construction also, he doesn't know so much about metallurgy or how to affect metallurgy. So there are so many things. So that is why when they are struggling to understand all these things, introducing concept, and also making it more complicated, it's actually sometimes I feel a little bit, it may become confusing for the students. So what I do normally, I say a concept is something, it's optional actually. So I say that we need a good design, a good idea, but sometimes that good idea, good design may also enter some concept which if you expand and it takes certain design process, it follows some method of design process, So if you interview that with design and idea, and you want to use that as an explanation as a designer to jury or the client, it's fair enough. But if it is not interviewable, it is not like a big crime. It's nothing like very. It's not very big disadvantage. But good design and good idea, you have to still work on it. So that means a concept is something actually, I would say will. It requires little more maturity. So that maturity sometimes even doesn't come in 5 years of studying of architecture. Sometimes it doesn't even come up for practicing architecture for 5 years. It may come maybe after practicing architecture, after studying architecture, practice architecture 15 years maybe. And it is not wrong in that also. That is why I'm saying that there's so many architects they mature into some kind of a philosophy of design and certain direction of how strongly they think about something in design and ideas. It takes a lot of time actually. So it doesn't happen just overnight. It doesn't happen at least it doesn't happen in the early school studies of the architecture course. It doesn't happen like that. So now you see, then somebody can ask that why didn't teacher talk about that? Now this part I would not blame teachers why they talk about concept, because somewhere you have to practice. You have to practice how to search for design. You have to practice how to search for ideas, and also you have to also practice how to interview concept with designers. So that is why to practice more, they will introduce it anytime as per their wisdom. But if left to me, I will not introduce it till I am in third year of architecture. That is the time where I will talk about concept. The very beginning of third year of architecture, I will talk about concept. But for first year, second years, I will just talk about design and ideas. I think it should be sufficient actually. This is my understanding. Now, if anybody has some different views about how when the concepts should be introduced to architecture students, anybody feel very strongly other way around, please you can make comment for this video actually. I will look into it and I will see how it goes. So now you see when we are working on design ideas, so again I would say you will make design as much as you know about technology, as much as you know about graphics, and as much so how much you can draw, whatever you can draw, that is also there. So you have to overcome the limitation of drawing and graphics, and also about technology. The technology part sometimes teachers can help you also, so that is not an issue, okay? Or you can actually also Google the technology sometimes. But other things like the maturity of applying cultural aspects, social aspects, political aspects, the cost also. You see, sometimes some people they say that in the beginning the students should not worry about cost. I don't agree with that. What I say that even if a rich man is there, he has also his range of maximum he can spend for certain buildings. So suppose to take for example a house. Suppose somebody says my budget, his house budget is 5 lakh rupees. Somebody can have a house budget for 25 lakh rupees. Somebody can have a house budget of 1 crore rupees. Somebody can have 5 crore rupees, somebody can have 25 crore rupees, and then somebody can have 1000 crore rupees, and somebody can have 7500 crore rupees. So actually the budget can be different, but still that budget has limitations. That means even the budget is a 5,000, then suppose the budget is 50,000, then you have to pack things as per that, and similarly for 5 lakh like that. So if there is some budget is something like 5,000 crores or 7,500 crores, then that maximum limit is already set. So you cannot simply do something which will cost more than that. So that means for everything you propose, you have to justify its part of the design with respect to cost. So it should be within that budget. So nothing is like nobody will say I have unlimited money for anything. It's not like that. But in the beginning, what teachers say that okay, focus on ideas and the budget part will see how it goes. But I would tell students that please be reasonable about this, because whatever you propose has to have a very good justification to get included at least in some way in some kind of budget. So you can set budget to higher side, but you cannot say that there is no budget, no end to how much you want to spend for anything. This will not happen. This is completely non-viable actually. So let's focus on that. We have to justify whatever we do with reference to the cost, and then you start whatever it is. And I would say that when you settle down on one option, I would say think of second option, think of third option, think of fourth option. Three is think very in the very beginning 3 to 4 options. So this gives you comparatively which one appeals to you, which has more potential to become a good project, and which actually solves maximum parameters what you have put actually to check the boxes actually. So that is also one good way. So making more options is very good also for you, and also if you show the same options to your teachers for interaction, or with your client in future with interaction, also it becomes clear to them also where they also want which way want it to go actually. So this is the thing about design actually, and then I would say that that you see the getting design is hard work actually. I would say sometimes it is very easy. Some people just easily they can see everything very clearly and they can put in one go. Some people take more time. So this is a tricky area actually. So that is why you have to always try to think as early, as fast as humanly possible for you at that particular point of time. Because many times I tell students that what is the difference between you designing the building and ordinary on the road, if any auto person is walking and he designing the building. You see, if you give unlimited time and you actually make the parameters little loose, then even an auto person can design a building. So the difference between you and him is that you are trained to design it faster and take into consideration certain technological part, certain cost part and other applications. So auto person who are layman is not trained to do that. So that is why you are trained to do it faster. So that faster has to come. A good design idea, a good idea should come as soon as possible for it to come in. Of course, you have to think. You have to sketch, you have to create options and put thought to it. So this is a major comment from my side. Now I will read something from some definitions from this normal design definitions from Google. And if required, I will give my comments in that actually. So let's start somewhere. Yeah. So I am now going to So what type of design is architecture? So this is the question, what type of design is architecture? So architecture, the craft of planning, designing and constructing buildings and other physical structures. You see, this is simple definition. The planning part is like you take the building and you combine them with MEP services, mechanical, electrical, plumbing and other services actually, and structural design. The structure it has to be safe actually. So those all things will involve some planning, also the education part of it and correlation with the site and all that. So that is why there's a planning, designing. This designing part actually will involve all these plan sections, elevations and also the walkthrough views and all that to give idea of what is happening actually. So but at some point some definition you will see design also meant like a plan, so that also we'll see. And constructing buildings, of course now all buildings have to be constructed, so technology part have to be taken into consideration. Also the structural part, the building have to stand, also have to be taken into consideration. So this is the one definition actually. Now let's go to another definition. Okay, so what's the definition of the design? How do you explain design? So let's take that one. So generally speaking, it is a process of envisioning and planning the creation of objects, interactive systems, buildings, vehicles, etc. So you see this again, you see design actually is used in other faculties also. Suppose you are in car design or automobile, they also use design. They also design for ships. So it's called naval architecture. Then they also design for aeroplanes and fighter planes and all that. So actually these are all design. Also you can say fashion designing actually, or jewelry designing actually. So that is why it is talking in that term. So what you do in this you envision. So you make a vision of what it can be, and planning and the creation of objects. So object can be it can be product design, and it can be interactive systems. Okay, this we have some it has to do something to software also. Maybe it also has to do with the MEP. You have this building what you call BMS. So building maintenance system. Okay, and that also have some designing, then buildings, then vehicles, etc. So these all you understood. If user centered, the users are at the heart of design thinking approach. So suppose you are making building for people. So what he's saying, if user centered, then the users of the building will be at the heart of the design thinking approach. So when you make a building, you see what is actually design process. See, I got another definition. You see, we make an estimate of something. Suppose we want to say that we want to have some dinner for two people traveling from distance A to distance B and going costing us 1,000 rupees. So what you do, you make cost estimate. So what is the cost estimate? You'll find out which student has what is the price of the dishes available there, and then you decide what you will eat there. The soup or then the main course, and then dessert, like that. And then you actually think of transportation, going to the restaurant, coming back to it. And then you have some service charge of tipping, and then you have to keep some safe money, some margin. If there is some mistake in finding a restaurant or something like that, you have to keep some contingency for that. So this is the cost estimate. So what you do, you do this first time you are actually keeping more margin and you are actually, but when you do it more often, then you can count it to the nearest last penny or last rupee. So with more experience of going to restaurant and different kind of restaurants, you have budget for all restaurants very quickly. So this estimate will become more and more accurate. It will work. Understand? Similarly for design also, what is happening? Whatever designs have worked with human beings, whatever ideas have worked with human beings, we as architects study those ideas, and then we, from basis of that, we actually guess what are the similar other things when we put in certain other manner will also work. Now these are put in some other similar manner. So that is why it can be only near about the success. So take for example the courtyard. Suppose in particular building, a particular size of courtyard, a particular height of the courtyard and all that massing and voids of the courtyard has worked wonderfully. It's giving fantastic feeling. And when you go there, you feel so great about that courtyard. So now you say this is appealing to me, so I will also put a similar kind of thing in my building. Now you can only think about it like it will work because it appeals to me and it will work in my building also. So this is like a get estimated the design part of the courtyard, the size and the shape and the height and correlation between length and width and all that. So similarly, other elements of the design, other aspects of the design. So what is happening actually? Every architect is whenever he gives a design, he is actually giving a design proposal as per his guess estimating. He thinks it will work. Now, whether it will work or not, 100% or not, no architect can tell for sure. Even a seasoned architect, even the great architect, even the most accomplished architect will always have little bit about doubt or apprehension. He will have that some nervousness in him whether my building will be taken well by the people or not. So this is a very tricky area actually. So that is why I want to tell you about this, that we are doing our best, study all the things and propose something, and this is our best shot that it will work. It will work or not work 100%. Nobody can tell for sure till the building is launched and till people receive it in certain manner and then you get feedback from the users actually. So this is there actually. So just that was a small comment actually. So let's take another comment actually. So what is the definition of a design? An arrangement of parts in a structure or a work of art. Okay, so the design of the house units. The design of a house suits a large family The art or process of planning and creating something. His job is web page design. Now this is something else. A sketch, model or plan of something made or to be made. Architect studied the design of the building. So the third part pertains to us actually. But again, this arrangement of parts in a structure or work of art. Now this arrangement of different parts, this applies to us. So we have this. Suppose there's a layout, how we arrange different buildings and all that, and other things, open spaces, garden and walkways and all that, and within the building how we arrange the rooms and all that, and how we go vertically and all that. So this arrangement actually is a design which looks very sensible to anybody. So nothing to expand from my side actually. Okay, now let's go. What is the main purpose of design? So a design is a plan or specification for the construction of an object or system or for the implementation of activity or process or the result of that plan or specification in the form of a prototype, product or process. The verb to design expresses the process of developing a design. So this is actually almost self-explanatory, except that here you see the design has become plan actually. So this actually is a definition of the olden times actually. This will come sometime afterwards. I will expand that time actually. Then let's take a few 2 or 3 more definitions actually. So why is design so important? Okay, so what is the answer? Is giving a good design will make you look good. Okay? It allows you to make a positive first impression on potential customers. It has been shown that human beings form an initial impression within a couple of seconds, but it can take a lot longer than this to alter that perception once a first impression has been made. So again here you see when you enter a building, when you see a building, you get some feeling. So you instantly like the building or don't like the building. So this is what he's talking about, and then after that first impression, if you want to change something, it will take longer time than normal time. So that is why you have to be very careful about everything you do actually. And that is why I see many architects, they are very sensitive about what they do actually, because they are always aware of how it will impact the person using the building visually and aesthetically, and tactile qualities and the color combination and other things. So he's very sensitive and he's very careful. Okay, so now let's take one more. So architectural design impacts. So what things impact the architectural design? Now this thing I already told you before. Site location, building orientation and geometry. Now here geometry is very important. So it's the geometry part actually. You see sometimes you see this form follows function, function follows form. This kind of discussions are going on actually. So geometry is part of that discussion actually. So right now actually you see I'm not going to debate which follows what actually. But at some point actually, see I tell you, suppose somebody convert a palace into a hotel. Now already that palace was not designed as hotel, so it will have some different kind of built, the things actually. But once you make into hotel, you see the modern way of use of hotel and other things. People adapt to it. Why? Or they become flexible about it. Why? Because they get to use the palace as a stay. It gives them a royal feeling. So sometimes I feel that if you get some larger return of value to the user, then he may compromise on functional part of something actually here and there, and go a little extra work to do something. But that doesn't affect him because he's getting something more fulfilling in return for that little hard work. This part a small comment actually. So building envelope. Now this envelope is the outer facade. That outer skin. It may have the element of the chhajjas and the louvers and horizontal louvers or vertical louvers like that, or sometimes they are moving as per the sun orientation. They are dynamic. Our latest technology is doing very well, and there can be also green wall. Some planters also can be. So those all are there actually, and so we call it sometimes breathing wall actually. So those kind of things actually will be there in our orientation, building envelope. Arrangement of spaces. For spaces, of course, we have to arrange them in certain manner, and local climatic characteristics. So this again, as I told you, the site is affected by the local climatic considerations actually. So this climatic actually is very important. You see the comfort we should do very naturally. So we should see that building doesn't require air conditioning, very mechanical air conditioning as far as possible. Let it be more natural and minimal. We should try to get air conditioning unless the requirement of central air conditioning is very much defined in the building from the client or also from the nature of the building. So suppose you take a design of airport or design of shopping mall, then sometimes air conditioning is a de facto requirement actually. So in those kind of situations, actually, you can still check what is good, discuss it with the client actually. So okay, for the design to have a distinct impact on both the occupant's environment and the efficiency of the building. So we will do all this actually. Let's read some more things actually. So what makes effective design? Principles of design are the rules a designer must follow to create an effective and attractive composition. The fundamental principles of design are emphasis, something we put more focus on, balance, symmetry and all that, or equal measure on this and that side. Balance also vertical and horizontal like that. Then alignment. Something is going in a particular way. Alignment, contrast, repetition, proportion, movement, and white space. So these all are there. We'll discuss about them separately some other time actually. But these are the principles of design. So design differs from art in that it has to have a purpose. So now building also they have some requirement. It has the purpose, it has the function. So art is not like that. Art is having only psychological fulfillment of feeling good about art. It's only psychological requirement and make you feel rich about a thing, but it doesn't have any more function like you cannot use the artwork in any particular way. So it's there. And let's take one more definition. What are the qualities of design? So you see what are the qualities of design? This is the definition by Russell S. Thomas actually. 5 qualities of good design. No matter what design related field you are in, there are qualities or basic principles that you can use that helps create good design. So what are these actually? Simplicity in good design, less is more. Okay, this I already told you very beginning. It should be as simple as possible. Then innovation. So what is the new about the design? Some innovation. Intuitiveness, or something intuitive about something. This intuition part is actually developed slowly actually. That is why when you are estimating the design actually. So you actually go into intuition. And why certain things work for certain buildings. What are the things? Why to understand all those things, we have to use sometimes intuition. That is why this history of architecture. If you study properly, you have to go into the designer's shoes of that period, that architecture. Suppose the building was made in 1000 AD. So that time, what was the brief by the client? Like suppose it was made by king. So what brief he must have given to design and how the designer must have solved that building. So you have to get some intuition into that design and solution idea. The same you have to use in your current design problem what you want to do. So that is why this intuitiveness is one thing. Keep in mind. Then visual beauty, and then honesty, and then conclusions. Now this honesty part, is actually you have to be really truthful to your service, and you have to design with some seriousness, some solemnity that you are not going to play around and confuse people. No ambiguity should be left. So that is what the honesty about. There should not be any ambiguity. Whatever you mean, whatever you want, design in the same way. And then there will be some conclusions. Okay, so these are I think more than enough for today. Already now the video has become of 40 minutes now. So let me actually summarize everything for you. So design is something. It comes in all actually, even the basic design. You see, there's a design warranty. So sometimes actually, I ask this question to many students actually. That is, suppose there were to be only one subject in architecture. What that subject is? Then I said I would put that subject to the basic design. Because if you study basic design, even after that the school courses actually. It is not so difficult to find other things like space requirement, the sizes of room, and all that. You can actually you can study on your own. But design part, you require interaction with faculty, get a robust confirmation. You see what is happening actually. So when as a student actually, when you do some design, you put some idea, you are trying to get conformity with more and more people. So if you talk to your friends and they tell you this is good, not good, or you talk to your teacher, they tell you this is good, not good, but you are trying to get conformity from them actually. So more conformity you get, the more you get encouraged about your ideas and about your design. So that is why what I am trying to say is that if basic design is you get very confirmed your ideas, that your ideas and design make sense to your teachers, your friends, and other people actually. Then other part you can actually keeping those design ideas in center. You can other things you can search and you can put the building, or somebody can actually help you with other things. We can give one. You can give one architect who will do other things for you. It is possible actually. Sometimes there are some competitions actually, and there are some non-academic also. They compete for that actually. I will give one good example is that this I think this Belgian embassy or Danish embassy, I don't know, maybe Danish embassy in Delhi. So this competition was voted by this embassy, and they allowed everybody to compete. And I remember Satish Gujral, who's an artist who actually has some he's a different able as far as the eye is concerned and his hearing is concerned. He is not able to function as a normal human being actually. Still, he produced fantastic design, and then I'm sure that council must have given help of some other architects, other people to put up the building. But I like the idea he put up actually as an artist and as an architect. So sometimes I feel that design ideas are more important than other things. So if you work more on your ideas and you get conformity of ideas from your teachers and friends, then you can be sure about because the core competency as an architect is design. Surely I'm telling you, design and ideas of design is your core competency. And if you can't do that properly, then your client will never get another architect to help you. You will say, okay, you please go, I will get another architect. He will replace you with another architect. But if you give good design idea and good design which he likes, then he may help you with other part like planning part or interacting with MEP and structural part. He can get somebody to assist you because there he can afford to do that. So that is why design is very important. So focus on that, work hard on that, and then you see the other part about building design actually. You see, first year I think mostly institute will not start with that immediately. We normally start with more like object design or something. So there are so many other problems. So I will discuss about this separately. And the problems about first years, what can be given to first year people. But sometimes product design, object design is better, and slowly they end up into doing some small cubicle, some clocks designed by end of semester, something. So that is how it works actually. So by end of semester or by end of year, I don't know, because first year have first and second semester together. So maybe second semester they get into some part, some small bus station, a small library, roadside library, some political parties they put actually, like cultural thing actually, or some other kiosks actually, and so many other things actually. So this all we'll discuss separately actually. So enough for this for today. And I will encourage you to recommend my videos, like my videos, comment on the ideas. If you think something is something can be added on designs or anything, please make a comment. So thank you for this and bye for now. Thank you. So today, as example of other colleges, I will give you some of my interaction with students regarding design actually. So as I mentioned earlier in one of my videos, that I had very good rapport with first year students. So many times I took basic design in some institute, and in some institute I also took academic design actually. So I will mention the first case of the architectural design actually. You see, I had given some. I think the problem was about I think that same library reading for public. Mostly these political parties they float some. This is very predominant in urban areas actually. So they will have some kind of a wall and they will build some structure and they'll put some benches and they'll put some shelves put people there. And people will sit around there and they'll gossip and there is some kind of a structure there actually. So it was given to design to students actually. And I remember one particular girl actually. She started speaking about her design. Actually, this was I think very first initial interaction actually. And she started and I looked at my watch and she was speaking and speaking and speaking and actually I didn't want to interrupt because for first year students I actually like them to talk more. I want to hear them out completely actually. I don't want to intervene a little too early or too soon actually. So I waited her to finish and they were also I had some other students also around me actually. So I was telling everybody particularly at least those who are in the group, same group, listen what other students are talking. And this girl she went on and actually she was not repeating herself anywhere. She went on monologue but I was not repeating. She went on till 22 minutes. Can you imagine that? So sometimes students how so much talk about design, they get so excited actually. And then I wake up from bed, are you finished? She said, yes, I'm finished. Sure, yes, sure. Then only I reacted to her actually. What I reacted to her, what I did not react to her is not so important. I don't even remember actually particularly. But what I'm trying to say, that as I always treat students when I'm interacting with them for design subject, basic design or academic reading, I treat them with little respect actually. They deserve some respect because they have to be pampered. They have to be felt special actually. So I actually, one of those other video where a student was mentioning that your teachers are at best they can be mentor and consultant actually. I am like that. I'm a mentor for them. I'm not a tutor, and I'm actually a consultant for them actually. I'll give what is my view in a very measured manner actually. I'm not trying to influence too much about without giving too much idea about what I think about designs actually. But of course, whatever is required to be given as example, other things we have to give examples actually. But I see that it is minimal. Then regarding basic design with other students, I was talking about one Harvard professor making a thesis that the end submission time should not be correct. So this is actually used in one of the basic design one call. I had gone there. Actually, I was late, so already somebody and actually they also have first year in continuation actually. So I was in the second semester part and actually some of the assignments given by teachers actually, the other teachers, they have not taken sufficient work actually. So by end of semester, I had to prepare some basic number of my assignments actually. And so I was lagging behind by at least 4 or 5 assignments and actually the time left was only 2 weeks actually. So I 2 or 3 weeks, I don't remember exactly, but maybe roughly 2 or 3 weeks and 4 assignments actually. But then I introduced all 4 assignments to students actually. Then I told them that out of these 4, you start working on any of them and whichever is ready, whenever it is ready, you interact with me in class or if you come to my office, you can also interact with me in office. So by giving flexibility of time actually and not going in a linear manner, what happened is that some students could crack some assignments faster than others actually. So then if they could crack something faster, then they could take more time in other assignments which takes more time for them to solve that assignment. So this flexibility of time use is a very good example why sometimes 2 or 3 design problems should be introduced and then it should be taken as submission from students as and when they are ready for whichever assignment they are ready. So I don't know. Sometimes we have to really work hard. At teachers, I understand things are so difficult actually. But when you have to implement some new ideas, of course, you have to evaluate it against the merits and demerits and other things actually. So here I gave them 4 assignments and then they came slowly and by end of these 2 or 3 weeks I could get all the four assignments and the assignment was completed actually. And my way of handling them, they were very comfortable also. So as I was telling you, sometimes they will get upset, the marks are less, and somebody's got more marks, and then they will say, "Sir, why you gave me less, and why you gave more to that student?" And then I had to, play safe. Something is lacking in your design. If you work like this, something you add, then I can reconsider actually. I can add some marks. So again, they work somewhere, they add something, they improve this assignment. Of course, somebody can say you're giving too many chances, but then of course where it is written that another chance should not be given for basic design or other things actually. Particularly basic design can be always given actually. I don't know. I mean students are very flexible over these things. Nobody is the other students who got marks they are also not objecting. Nobody is objecting these types. Sometimes teachers have so many things in all the parameters of equality and fair play and ethical morality only in their brains actually. Students are not bothered. So I would always find the optimum best, which is good for students and also good for me and good for everybody. So apart from these two classes I interacted, then my interaction with this senior student like third year and all that. You see, when I finish some basic interaction, because all students are not able to cope up and get this design very early and all that. I remember particularly one college, in Gujarat, the same students, who told me take away his biscuit, take away his tea. The same batch actually. You see, I had given them this major problem as an architecture college, but I had put architecture college with a masters also in three faculty and then also interior design and also fine arts. So the whole building layout become very very big actually. So they took too much time to control the volumes of the building, and then after that we could bring some sensible architecture of that. Then I was actually concluding, and also I had difficulties because my co-teacher was actually a lady actually. Sometimes she was always absent because she was always busy with administrative work actually. So actually, when I am satisfied that bare minimum things are okay, then I would actually talk to students, that you see now your design is at the okay level actually, but there is no magic in it. So then ask what is the magic, sir? The magic is something it's like something which is like a fantastic thing. You understand? It's like for example, let's take about ketchup. You see, the ketchup is there in all sandwich. The ketchup is there on pizza. Ketchup is there, so it is more like a functional product. But we cannot eat ketchup alone. Actually. So we need either sandwich, we need a pizza, we need something else. So that is what that vada pav is the magic. That pizza is the magic actually. So similarly in architecture, we have to have something about it in such a way, something unique. That people will they lap it up actually. So then they asked me how to go to that level. I said, of course you have to work hard on that now. You have to work hard more on your design actually. You have to search more the ideas part, the other part. You have to fine tune it more actually. So then some students they took up the challenge. Okay, sir, let us interact and show me how I can take my design to the level. And then I think selected out of 34. I think 5 to 7 students interact with me to take it to another level. And these 5 to 7 students, they really worked hard. They interacted with me, and they worked again on their drawing. They worked again on their models, and they got it to another level. And then I felt now this is a magic. So these students, actually I felt, see, sometimes the design of some students, they came to that level of maturity where you can see that even experienced architect up to 5 to 7 years, whatever work he could put up with, even from the good school, good college, even with the experience with a good architect designer, the same level of maturity will come in third year students architectural design actually. So it's a matter of patience and working more and guiding students to first bring them to minimal level of comfort of at least passing, and then take them to another level if they are ready to interact with you. taking some special, some students who are really inclined under your arm or under your umbrella, and nurture them, mentor them to go to another level. Actually. So these are my experiences for AD actually, and then also sometimes when I interact with the students, and I remember the same that other college in Gujarat, where I took urban design seminar. I was also taking AD for second year students there actually. So I had 3 year students there. Final year Albert Design seminar. The third year students I was taking building construction and technology. The same batch, those 2 or 3 smart urban girls, they were interacting with principal to harass these 2 year students. The same, that was a third year batch. Actually. And second year batch, I was taking AD with some other teacher. Actually. So this particular AD actually is a very interesting project. You see, we taught students about all the materials. I mean, you were asked as a part of assignment to study glass, wood, steel, thatch, and then bamboo, then earth, and then brick, and then concrete, and all whatever actually. And then they were asked to design something like say example, an architect's about a home or something like that, but using 3 or 4 companies of this material. And we had taken them to study tour at Hunarsala, which is somewhere in Kutch actually. I think it is somewhere in Manvi actually. So that. Manvi, somewhere in Manvi actually, somewhere near that area, Bhuj somewhere actually, not Manvi, Bhuj actually. So there is Hunarsala. So that was established after the earthquake of Gujarat 2001 actually. So there they did some experiment about all these different materials. The particular focus is about how to create earthquake resistant building actually. So all these, they have done fantastic work there actually. The students, it's very good for other students of architecture in other part of India to go to Hunarsala in Bhuj and have a look actually. Fantastic actually. So these students, they were ready actually, and they were doing some design. Now I was interacted with particularly with students about geometry. I saw some people, they use circle, they use rectangle, they use other forms actually. And then I gave them a brief discuss on how sometimes circle will not go along with triangles and rectangles if you don't do it properly actually. So I gave them a small chat of say 10-15 minutes, and I said you should work hard on the geometry part actually. Very small actually, and these are second year students actually. So I actually forgot that I gave them lecture. And then second time when they came, I think the next class, and I saw the plant in geometry. Oh my god, I was so surprised that the geometry of the circle, they use circle actually, and they eliminate other things. They make so many different combinations of curves and circles, and they create fantastic plants. And this happened not with 1, 2, 3 students, it happened with almost 20 students. And with only just one small lecture of 10 minutes. So sometimes students can surprise you if you give them proper guidance, if you give them some tips, if you give them some ideas, and they start thinking and they think in such a manner that it goes beyond your expectation actually. So this is my interaction with those second year students of design in one of the colleges in Gujarat. And of course, this in Kerala actually, see, I was professor in one particular college actually, and there were thesis students actually. And see what happened, that this principal, he got some notice from the university, that so and so did this jury actually. And he forgot to forward it to students actually. And then there were only balance I think 3 weeks time, 21 days, and we were only we had 4 reviews. So we had just finished review 1, or maybe review 2. Review 2 we have finished actually, or something like 2 or something. Or we were going to do review 2 within 2-3 days, and then there was review 4, review 3 and review 4 actually. And there were actually sometimes even external jurors used to come for some reviews actually. And then this principal, he forgot actually. Then he said that the final jury is on so and so date. This is after 3 weeks, and they are like 2 reviews balance, and again students have to put up drawings for final drawings and also model actually. there is a complete panic among students and a complete this principal. We just simply we just not bothered actually. And then actually I took upon myself, I asked students, I mean, of course the submission was there actually, so I took down all their review too. I reviewed them personally to all the students actually. There were some 39 of them actually, and I gave them comments personally actually. I had to stay late night sometime. I had to sometimes keep awake for some nights actually, because I had to give them a reasonable time also actually. And I had some, sometimes my leg will get swollen and all that, and I had to put my leg in, salt water, something like that. And then I sometimes, I told students, something like this. I get some private message from, one or two girls actually. So please take care of this. Yourself, don't overdo anything. And then I felt, this affection, they care actually. And then, and I had to do my work. So I gave confidence to the students, don't worry and all that. I gave them my remarks, and then this also this principal also was very funny character. He will not put me in external Viva jury. He will not put me because it was online actually. He never sent link to me. So he thought that I'm kind of disturbance actually. Oh, that kind of ideas actually I don't understand. But sometimes students feel comfortable when I'm actually there, and I will not actually interrupt them. Of course, I know how to interrupt the external juror and all that. But sometimes I actually talk with external juror, create some, some kind of atmosphere, soften some things, take out some ages and some tension out of this, do revival and all that. But then the principal was very, he had ideas. So I said, no problem. Thank you. Take care of yourself and take care of your students. So you see, but ultimately the jury, luckily for them also, he was the same jury who had come for them in semester 9 for that urban design actually. So because of that and familiarity, and he also knew me and all that. So actually the students could get through. All 31 passed actually. In spite of all the trouble and all that, quick work and all that. So these are my experience of interacting with AD students, and of course some other other colleges, and also other two places. In Kerala, I was principal actually. One particular college, I can tell you that the teachers were very average actually, but these students were fantastic AD. Fantastic. And I went there and I saw their thesis project within 10 days of joining the institute. And I saw their projects of thesis. I was like, oh God, what is happening here? And two girls were done very well actually. They were like, I asked them to interact with my first year student at the vertical, workshop. And they were like, I asked these two students, what are your regrets about your studying architecture? And they said, regret was that we did not spend enough time in library and something in those lines and other things. And I was like, oh, fantastic. These are the ideal students. We dream of some students. We always tell students, go to library, do this, do that. And they were doing everything like that actually. But it is sort of what we were doing. They had regret of not going enough in the library. They were going in library, but not enough, not more. What they thought would have been good for them to go to library actually. So those students were fantastic. They had very good, grasp on the subject, on the thesis, and they had very good grasp on design brief, the output, the product, and they got something like 8.5 possible marks. So the other college also students, some of them are fantastic actually, and we managed to get this some very nice, very well-known architect actually for the jury actually, and he was very simple. He will know that students are not done any work. Those students who are not done work actually will not ask any question. He will simply just give marks on it. Those students who have really put up something, he not one or two questions. And he finished the whole jury in one day. The external jury was for about 2 days actually. So he finished on one day actually. Because he saved time, because actually sometimes when you see the students are not put enough effort, there is no point in asking questions for the mistakes and this and that. I mean, they will have all lame excuses or whatever. And he had a very nice way. He said, you know, only students who have worked hard, you can see some product, ask them some question, they'll give you some answer, and it will help actually. So very nice, matured way of handling the situation. And but some of them, some students have done really well, and I came to know later on that most students also got ranked in that college later on in the final year actually, because when I was there, they were in third year. After 2 years, something they exam of final year, and then the result came maybe after 1 year, which is the system of the University of Kerala. So very satisfactory and all good. So for AD, please make sure you interact with teachers in a very sensitive manner, just enough, act like mentor, consultant, respect them, and please make sure that we don't make them do a lot of donkey work. We can would give some data if they require some data. I would stress more on that whatever data you have collected is so that how you put the data in use. Okay? So that correlation between data collection and other things with design, I would say always speak on those items. Even while we jury, I would tell them that if you use some data, speak about that data and how it will be used in design more than otherwise. So be it like a story, like whatever data you collected and you show in portions where you use the data in your design actually. Point out here, and it will look very robust and very good. You have storytelling and good jury actually. So enough for that, enough for AD, enough for BD, enough for design, enough for ideas, and for regarding this concept and all that, I will take some other more video separately actually. So thank you, bye bye, see you again when I see you again. Thank you. And as I told you before, please subscribe my channel Artculi Plus. Please like this video and please make comment if you feel something I missed or something you think you can add on this, and forward my videos to your friends and other people.